Welcome to Business Time. I am Melisha. Today we will be looking at small businesses. We'll be looking at the functions of small businesses and the advantages and disadvantages of small businesses. A lot of times we focus on large businesses, but let's take a look at what these small businesses in our communities are doing for us. Let's look at some of the functions of a small business. One, they provide employment. Two, they provide services that large businesses will not provide. And I can just imagine, especially for those of us who live in some communities where you can get half of a bread, you can get one egg to buy. If you go into a supermarket, you are not going to get that. You will have to buy the entire bread. You might only be able to get like 6 eggs or a dozen eggs at the supermarket or more. But these small businesses, they will provide you. If you go to a shop, say for example a shop in the community or so on, they will cater to your specific needs. They know that you might not be able to buy anything too expensive, and so they will cater to your needs and do things like those that large businesses will not even consider to do. Small businesses can also cater to certain niche in the market. There are needs in the community that large businesses are not fulfilling, and so a small business can capitalize on that and provide the goods and services that are needed from members of the community. Let's look at the advantages of a small business. Small businesses provide employment opportunities for persons who might not have been able to get a job. And let's think about it. Large businesses, they can provide so much job and no more because they do have limited space. And so if a small business can start, naturally they will need assistance to operate their business to ensure that they are able to efficiently provide their goods and services. And so they will need workers. So whenever somebody starts a small business, somebody is guaranteed to be employed, whether it's a family member, friends, or just about anybody from the community or surrounding areas. Another advantage of a small business is that the businesses are able to maintain a good relationship with their customers, because then they're not catering to a large number of persons. And so what you find with small businesses, usually the owners, the workers, they are able to remember their customers' names. Also, what you find is that the owner or the manager and the workers too are able to have a fairly good relationship, because they do not have a lot of workers to deal with. And so most times too, they will know their workers' names. They are able to have a very good rapport because they would have been able to closely relate to each other for the most part, with those exceptions where, some persons, workers are not getting along, or, the manager's not getting along with their workers. But for the most part, they will have a fairly good rapport. Another advantage to a small business is that it increases competition for larger businesses. So, a small business can capitalize on it, and if they see that there's something lacking in the service of a large business, they can, perfect it. And of course, the small businesses will be taking away some of the customers from the large businesses, and so there is some amount of competition. So now let's look at the disadvantages of a small business. A disadvantage of a small business is that the business may lack expertise in certain areas, because of course, the business is small, you might not have enough capital or finances to hire the best skilled person or professional person in a particular area. And so sometimes the business owners will have to do with what they have access to, and so that they might be at a disadvantage because of that. A second disadvantage of small business is that the owners may find it difficult to source finance, especially when it comes to financial institutions. Like some commercial banks, they may be very skeptical to give loans to small business owners because, some of these small businesses, they don't have a lot of assets to put up as collateral to get a secured loan. And so it sometimes is very challenging for small businesses to get access to loans. Another disadvantage of small businesses is that limited ability to service customers due to unavailable resources. And when a business is small, it has very few machine, equipment, tools that it needs to operate, to reach out or to increase its customer base. That is it for small businesses. Hope you learned something. See you next time.